everyone. Morning, morning, morning. This is Lightning ESL, Part 2, Public Speaking 101. Notice my background. That's right, I'm in a classroom environment. You might be in something like this, at work, in the field, who knows? But you might be doing something like this. Part 1, we're talking about nerves. We're talking about the process, a roadmap. First, let's talk about nerves. Everybody's nervous in some way. It's totally normal. We're all human. We have emotions as number one. That's right. So remember that you are human. It's normal to be nervous to a point. Nobody expects you to be perfect. Don't think you have to be perfect. You're a human. Act like it. Don't act like a statue. Act totally conversational if you can. Then you'll notice sometimes people take notes. They take notes, which means they are interested. They are following every word in the sense what you're saying. That's right. They're taking short form notes. That means they're interested. Possible inquiry later, after your speech, whatever. But that's a good thing. Let's go back to talking about nerves. People have different kinds of ways of showing their nerves. What does it mean? Well, your voice might change. Your hands might go wild, whatever. You might lose your place in the presentation. You might not articulate certain words properly. You might mumble this, mumble that. Some people say you might have butterflies in your stomach, things like that. It's an emotional feeling. Some people have palms that sweat, or they're shaking. Or they're touching their nose and so on. They're itching like crazy, or fixing their glasses, jewelry, and so on. Everybody's different. It's true. Everybody's different. You can be nervous as much as you want. The key is keep the so-called nervousness inside. That's right. Have confidence, like I talked about in the first part, the 4 C's. Confidence, confession to yourself. I can do this. Just calm down. Make it a normal conversation. That's right. As I mentioned before, nervousness comes in all different sizes. Blinking, fidgeting, hand movement, swaying back and forth, forward and backwards, and so on. All different ways. People touch different parts of their body in a sense because they're nervous. Touch their pockets, things in their pockets, things like that. So remember things. Let's start off again. Nerves is perfectly normal to a point. If you calm down your nerve situation, you will calm down. You'll come back through like a conversation. It'll be beautiful. Let's say to yourself, the teacher asks or somebody asks you, how are you speaking in front of public? How are you? Do you think you're good? Excellent? Do you experience a certain type of nervousness? How do you diminish that nervousness? What do? Some people talk to 10, count down from 10, 9, 8, and so on. Some people think about something. They focus on one person in the audience. There's many, many ways of calming down nerves. That's right. So remember that. Another part, a very important part, is your body language. How's your posture? Yeah. How's your head? Is your head tilted this way or that way? Is it foot down? Is it up? That's right. It's all body posture. Body language tells the audience how nervous you are or not, how comfortable you are. This is all part of credibility. That's right. If the audience believes what you're saying, how you say it, your credibility goes up, your confidence goes up. It's a win-win. That's the key. So things like that. There's many kinds of gestures we talk about in the future. Also, how you gesture your hands, your tone of voice, all kinds of things. Research has shown many things. Any type of speech is a conversation. You have a certain topic. You want to talk about this and support what you're talking about. That's the key. Now let's talk about things like this when it comes to vocal communication overall. What is vocal communication? Well, it's obvious. We're talking about the rate of speech, first of all. How fast you talk or how slow you talk. In some cultures, as you know, it talks like this. They talk very, very fast. That's true. Some cultures talk very, very slowly. Hello, how are you? I'm Mr. Little. Now remember, the audience, in a sense, their brain has to catch up to your speech rate or slow down to your speech rate. That's right. Some people talk very loud. Some people talk very low. High pitch, low voice. You've heard the expression tone of voice. Sometimes your parents will say, don't give me that tone of voice. Your tone of voice is very important. It tells the audience, I want to really emphasize this, make note of this. It's the key to the speaker's comments. Certain things he might repeat, and the audience will hear that twice, 3 times. It's an important part of that speech. This is all part of vocal communication. And your pitch, high pitch, low pitch. That's right. Articulation of your words is extremely important. What's the rush? Are you catching a train, catching a fire out there? Slow down, relax. The more relaxed in your tone of voice, and your clarity and articulation, the audience understands better. That's right. That's what it means. Slow down, relax. So remember this. Now, every speech has certain parts we all know. There's certain reasons for having a speech. That's right. What's the reason for it? Just to stand there and open your mouth and say, ah? No. There's a certain type of speech. There's basically 3 different types of speech. Number one, demonstrate something. I want to demonstrate this. How do you demonstrate that? Show me how. Everybody learns differently. Some people are visual. They have to see it. Some people are auditory. All they can do is hear it once, they know it. All right? Somebody wants to persuade something, like selling you something. I believe, in my opinion, this, and this. That's right. They're trying to back up what they believe. That's the persuasion type of speech. So again, 3 different kinds of speech. 3, demonstrate something, inform you about something, which is pure information, and persuade you about something. I believe this. All right? Every speech is a mixture of all 3. It's true. But primarily, it's one. And you'll notice that within the first 5 minutes of a speech, I want to demonstrate this, or inform you, pure information about something, or persuade. Yeah. I've always believed your beliefs, whatever you believe right now, was shaped or molded by certain attitudes. And attitudes influence your certain behavior. Okay? So remember, your beliefs about certain things. Remember, you came out in this world with a clean white slate. Nothing on it. But it was shaped or molded by parents, environment, relatives, and so on. Created certain attitudes in your head. Your attitudes create or influence your behaviors. So remember, in types of speech, there's 3 main types again. Demonstration, inform or information, and persuade of some kind. All right? Now, to add to this, one of the most important things of all in a speech is analyzing your audience. Analyze your audience. How do you do that? What do you mean? It's simple. I never said it's easy. It's a simple process, first of all. Analyze your audience is number 1, all public speaking. It is. It's number 1. Analyze your audience. We'll go into that a little further down the lessons. Analyze your audience if you can, if you have the time. What type of audience? Their age, their culture, their traditions. All women? All men? What kind of age are they? Education background, economic background. This is all under analyzing your audience. Next is research. If you have time to research your topic, what are you going to talk about? You have to define your speech. There's got to be a purpose to your speech. Again, information, persuasion, or demonstration. Either case, all 3, you have to do research before you open your mouth and step in front of anybody. You have to do some kind of research. I realize you don't always have time. You don't. If you have time, take advantage. Not everything's on the internet. Use life experiences. This is all part of research. Again, like in any essay you write down or talk about, there's a main topic sentence, main theme, or mode of talking about this. So develop some kind of speech statement. Today I'm going to talk about X. All right? Guys, you have to get their attention. That's the key. Get the audience attention. Now, some people use visual aids, PowerPoint presentations, slides, movies, on the chalkboard, all kinds of diagrams and pictures, whatever. Everybody's different. The key is to deliver your speech with passion, and if you have time, preparation. Preparation means all kinds of methods, doesn't it? Some people talk in front of a camera, record themselves. As you know, recording yourself is not the same thing as recording live to a person. It's close, depending on the microphone, but it's not always the same. It's true. But that's basically the roadmap of public speaking. Analyze your audience, research your topic, develop a central speech statement to organize your material, structure using some kind of visual aids. Because some people are auditory, visual, or touchy-feely. That's how they understand what you're saying. Everybody's different. They might use a blackboard, like I mentioned before, PowerPoint presentation, Bristol board, whatever. Believe it or not, You should be able to use any object, wherever you do a speech. People, chair, it doesn't matter. Because sometimes technology doesn't work. So what do? Stand there and go like this? No. Use whatever is available. That's right. If you're doing information, pure information, you can give an example. I'm talking about this, pure information about this. All right? To demonstrate something. Let's say you want to demonstrate how to start a car. You can use your hand motions, drawing behind you, all kinds of things. Don't rely on technology. It's not perfect. It isn't. You might do a PowerPoint presentation, beautiful slides, no sound. Or you have all kinds of sound, nothing there. The show must go on, so it says. You have to keep on going, don't you? You can't just stop and go like this. You get flustered, nervous, and so on. So always have a backup plan in your head. Always, always, always. Because things happen. They really, really do. So again, demonstrate a speech, inform you in your speech, or persuade. One of the three, one, is the prime reason for your speech. I realize I said it before. A lot of speeches have a combination of all three. But usually there's one dominant method you're talking about. So remember, this all has to do with nervousness today and organizing the profile and the basic format of a speech. Getting yourself organized. You must have a roadmap. You must. If you don't have a roadmap, you don't know where you're going. And people will notice. You weren't prepared for this, you weren't prepared for that. And people are going to go, is he ready for this kind of speech? Is he not ready? Why is his nervousness showing? Why is his voice changing? And so on and so on. People notice things like that. They really do. They really, really do. Because people looking at you, they're staring at you. Are you doing it properly? Not properly? Are you ready? Are you organized? Is it all over the place? So remember, there's different ways of looking at things like this. There really is. But you've got to start from the basics. We talked about the 4 C's before. Now we're talking about nervousness and the basic roadmap to get you started. Get you started. It's not a question of, what do I do? 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 You have to start. Basic building blocks. Basic building blocks. Understand nervousness. You're emotional creatures. This is normal. All right? So we have to self-adapt, for example. Self-adapt. As I mentioned before, nervousness, some people fidget with their hands, jewelry, hair, who knows? All kinds of things. But people notice. From the moment you open your mouth, and even before that, think of an interview. The moment you walk in the door for an interview, you're on stage. It's the same thing. You're on stage. People knocking every single follicle in your skin, every fiber of your hair, every part of you they're watching, your posture, your body language, your hands, all kinds of things. The noise you make, how you're dressed, all kinds of things. People notice this. That's why I'm talking about it very seriously about it, because you have to understand this. Within 30 seconds, you're gaining or losing credibility with the audience. You really are. How you stand, how you sit. Body language is extremely important. It really is. Are you groomed, not groomed? Do you look prepared? Are your eyes all over the place? All right? Is your eyes up there, over there, over there? Some psychologists believe you turn your eyes a certain way as you're talking, you're searching for answers to come back to you, as if it's in the ceiling. Or you're lying. And it's going to show. It's going to show by how you act with your eyes. Your voice is going to change when you're lying or searching for answers. It shows a lack of preparation. It shows many things. As I said before, this is all very, very important to understand. You have to understand this. It's the building blocks we're trying to do. I never said it's easy. You take your time. About nervousness we're talking about, a basic roadmap of a speech. Basic. How do you think yourself? Giving a speech or not giving a speech? Most people do a group setting because of fear of doing it by themselves. But I always remember, I've been saying this forever and ever, since I was a kid, doing speeches since I was 9. Talk about what you love. You can talk forever. You can. You have a passion to talk about this, passion to talk about that, because you love this. It could be history, geography, math, science, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. The key is, it's already inside you. That electricity or passion is inside of you. You like this. Use what you know about that passion for any subject, whatever it is. Transfer that passion to what you have to talk about. Yeah. Why do you like this? Why do you like that? Use that passion in your speech. That's right. Use what you love to talk about in your speech. Try to transfer that emotion, transfer that passion into what you have to talk about today. I never said it's easy. It isn't. But if you get in that zone of thinking of what you love to talk about, now you're talking about financial structures, you're talking about ABC, whatever it is, that speech. That passion's in your head. Your nerves are down here. That's right. Now you're talking conversation-wise. It's easy. You don't have to be stressed out. What am I talking about? What am I talking about, right? That's why people ask you, can you talk with confidence? Well, I can talk with confidence about ABC because I love talking about that. It's my favorite thing. So do it. Take that passion. It's already inside of you. Don't have to memorize it. Memorize it. What do I do? Read a book about it. It's already in there. It already is. Young age, middle age, doesn't matter. It's already inside. Use that passion. Your nervousness will go down like that. Your rate of speech will be totally conversational. It won't be fast, won't be slow. It'll be totally normal for you. That's right. And since you have less nerves or stress, it'll come through like talking to you right now. Very, very easy. Because as you know, audience is different. Every audience is different. We'll go into that in another session. The importance of audience research, I can't spend it enough. It's the most important part, is analyzing the audience. I've done many, many speeches. I've given like 30 seconds advance warning. Brian, go talk, just like that. Or Angela, go talk, just like that. Or tomorrow you're going to be talking about this new product, this procedure, and so on. And let's say you don't know what your audience is. You've never met them before. What do? Neutral. Totally neutral. Don't preset ideas in your head. I must talk like this because of. I can't talk like this because of. The key is to be totally neutral. Assume you know what type of audience you're going to have. Assume. You can't be perfect, of course. But if you walk in there conversational, no preconceived idea, this is yes, this is no, totally neutral, you'll be fine. That's the key. You'll be totally fine. So again, in review, we talked about nervousness, we talked about roadmap of public speaking, which is to analyze your audience, research, developing a certain essential speech statement, using visual aids if you have to. You don't always have to use visual aids. People come to see you and hear you, not seeing PowerPoint presentations and slides and billboards and so on. You can talk about yourself, talk about a story, whatever it is, about your topic of the day. Because you can't rely on technology. You can't. You can't. The idea is to deliver your speech with passion and preparation if you have time. But I mentioned before, you don't always have time. You don't. You really, really don't. So again, be ready, be organized, bring the nervousness down, which means the stress will go down, all right? And remember always, you're there to inform somebody about something with pure information. That's the key. You have to understand one of the three are you there for. Is it pure information, demonstration, or entertain? Now, the funny thing about that, information or inform, information is what? Data. This. It's very gray, all right? It's yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Information, all right? Persuade is like a salesperson. I want you to buy this car because of ABCD. I believe this. Support your answer. I believe this. So you can't just say this. Support it. Why do you believe this? Because you're going to have criticism, positive and negative, from the audience. But stand up for what you believe in. That's pure persuasion. Now, demonstration. How do you demonstrate? How do you demonstrate? Well, sometimes on a board, using visual aids. But sometimes telling a story demonstrates something to the audience. Use a personal story. Or you heard of something from somewhere. Or you read something from somewhere. Again, there's different ways of demonstration. Not always the same way. But as you get into it, your levels of stress and anxiety and nervousness will go down, 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 down. You'll be more comfortable. And the more often you take care of these particular concepts I'm giving out to you, it'll get easier and easier and easier. It doesn't matter if the speech is 5 minutes or it's 4 hours. These techniques work. I've been doing this for many, many decades. It works. I never said it's easy. You go at your own pace. That's the key. Not force you to do this, force you to do that. In week 1 you'll do this, in week 5 you'll do this. No. We do it step by step by step. All right? So again, how kind of speech are you going to give? Are you going to inform somebody about something, persuade them about something, or demonstrate about something? 3. All right? But only use one prime method in your speech. And once you get into that, nervousness will go down, stress goes down, your comfort level goes up, credibility to the audience goes up. It's a win-win. Okay? This is lightningesl.com. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.